This video right here may not show that I'm having a bad day, but in reality I'm having some kind of a car trouble that's making it a bad day. Sorry, I have to take that off yet. She does sound good though. Love the exhaust, can't complain about that. So, time to reveal to you why I'm having a bad day. So everything up here might look normal, nothing out of the ordinary until you zoom in. Well, let's take a closer look at what I'm referring to. Down here, I got a crack on my carbon fiber lip. Yep, right there folks, that's a crack. And underneath I put some tape. That way she doesn't fall apart while we're driving down the road. I already ordered another carbon fiber lip to replace. It's the exact same kind. There's like 4 bolts or six screws. I just got to replace the middle part, which is easier than replacing those side things. But I got a carbon fiber lip coming, hopefully sooner than later, and it's gonna be easier to replace. But as far as like driving down the road, this shakes back and forth quite a bit, and it has not come apart. And from a distance, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the car. And it's my 3rd lip already. It's gonna be this is my 2nd lip. It's gonna be a 3rd lip when I'm gonna get the other one in. And the first lip I cracked, it was cracked alongside over here, and it kind of looked funny, but that now cracked smack in the middle. Well, you live and you learn. That's all I can say. You live and you learn. How I cracked that lip, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't driving onto a driveway that was kind of like an angle where the front end could actually kiss the bottom. No, I was sleepy. I worked a 16-hour shift, went to go get food, and out of all things, I hit the curb at the parking lot, like the front at the parking lane. And I was like, oh shoot, no, not again. And how I hit it, because I was looking at the reflection of the glass at the restaurant I was at, and from the reflection of the glass, it looked like I was still far away from that curb. In reality, I wasn't. So now I'm going to learn my lesson, try to always back in no matter what, even though I almost always do, and rather be a little farther and look a little funny by parking away farther than destroying another lip. So gotta get that lip replaced on this Infiniti yet. I still got a carbon fiber spoiler that I'm still reviewing, haven't had time to install it yet, that I have to install, that was delayed because they sent the wrong bracket. I'll be posting a video about that as well. And I gotta do an oil change soon on this Infiniti. Almost 5,000 miles went by since I got it, and it's time for another oil change on this Infiniti. Now, in all other news, it's gonna be another separate video coming out there. But my daily driver, Mazda 3, is in the shop already for almost 3 weeks, which is kind of sad because I'm a little bit slowing down work and would like to do DoorDash and other related side gigs. But since I don't have my Mazda 3, I can't do it because this Infiniti Q50, I would rather have it with less miles, simply for the fact I don't trust the turbos on the Infinitis. I love them, I just don't trust the turbos. So keep a low mileage as much as possible until I'm able to afford to get bigger turbos from Z1 and actually push more power. The turbos here can be reliable, it's a hit and miss, but you got to take care of the car, and having to do errands like a daily is not good for these cars. That's why you get a 3.7 over the 3.0 twin turbo. So, and it uses a lot of fuel compared to the Mazda 3, so it ain't even worth it to go out there DoorDash if you're spending all your money on fuel. So, Mazda 3 in the shop. This has to get all that work done, and hopefully we can get it done soon. I think what's next for me is to at least get that carbon fiber spoiler installed. Now, I do say I can't complain how she sounds with the turbo spooling up. Sounds really nice, so hey, at least I can enjoy that with a cracked front lip, but we're about to go take care of that. She sure looks nice. Update on the front lip. It's been delayed. I don't know if it was a snowstorm somewhere where I don't live that has been delayed, or a human error, but instead of March 2nd, it's coming in March 4th. I mean, it's simple to replace on my car. It's like literally 4 screws or bolts that bolt onto the front bumper. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Don't get me wrong, fellas. The front lip is barely noticeable. Like, it's barely noticeable that it's cracked. It looks like a regular front lip. In all due honesty, I might even leave it like that and just keep the other front lip as a spare just in case it completely breaks. Or maybe I should change it. I think I should change it. But either way, I still have to do an oil change in her, hopefully soon. She still has about 150 miles left until an oil change is due at 5,000, which, by the way, I use Mobile One Extended Performance, which is guaranteed for 15,000 miles, which I do not recommend change your oil every 5,000 miles of the car. And also, I gotta install a carbon fiber spoiler on top of this lip spoiler down over here. It does sound nice, by the way. But in order to do that, I gotta get to work and get it all done. So basically, Sunday oil change probably, Monday spoiler, Tuesday, Wednesday fix the front lip. I hope if I can get that plan to work, that'd be perfect. But hey, I don't know. We'll just have to go one day at a time. Hopefully I can get this car in top notch before my vacation in April, because I would love to drive to Florida in a nice sports car. Most oil catch cans, you could just drop it and pull it out from underneath. Alright, that's how much we collected. Gotta drain that all out now and then put it back. Well, this is me right now doing an oil change in the Infiniti Q50. That's how it's done. I mean, you can put it on ramps if you want, but for me, I'd rather prefer this instead of ramps because the car's kind of low. Don't want to just scrape underneath. Yeah, obviously is where you do the oil change. First time doing it, actually. 5,000 miles in the Infiniti for the first time. Took me a couple of months to get to it, but hey, oil change is an oil change. Kind of hard to see, but she's draining down there. It's a little tight, and I'm underneath a pretty low car, and the fact that it's not on, what do you call? And the fact that it's not on ramps makes it pretty tough. But wait until it drains out. When it finishes draining out, then plug it back in, and then we can work on getting the oil filter loosened up. Well, just finished up doing an oil change and now topping off with seafoam. I recommend every car guy to add seafoam to their fuel tank at every single oil change. Trust me, your car will thank you. So currently I'm indoors and I'm about to assemble the spoiler before mounting the car. They did very, very good customer service and sent me the right ones like I mentioned before. And they both fit. As you can see, they fit. So time to assemble these. And then the one puzzling thing is I got these bolts right here that bolt on into here. I just don't get what these big ones are for. They're like extra to this right here. I think they're extra to that just in case you lose some. My personal opinion, that's what I think they're, because you only need these, then you got to drill the right hole, and then you got holes, and you got to assemble it back. So it does come with a wire that I need to run to my brake light and to get it to work. So we're going to be figuring that out. But after that, let's assemble these and see how they work out. Just finished assembling the spoiler here. Got the wire in through there. There's a little bit of a hiccup. So basically, if you get your brackets, you may have to do some assembly, like sanding down the edges in order to get as much as possible inside here. And I accidentally stripped one bolt trying to bolt this down because there's a gap. Anyway, I used super glue, which would work very well. You just put super glue underneath in the corner there, and it'll be good to go. There is a small gap over here compared to this side, but in my opinion, it's gonna look pretty much the same. It's not gonna be noticeable at all with the little gaps, because both of them have gaps, and probably probably like a 1/16 of an inch or 1/32 of an inch. There's going to be a gap more. So pretty much you're not going to see it at all. It's going to look straight on the road. But just keep in mind with the spoiler, you might require some assembly in order to install it. Next, we're removing this padding here on the inside of the trunk. So you're gonna use a flathead to remove all these plastic clips, and then also to wire, we're gonna use the third brake light down here. We need to rewire all this somehow to the third brake light in order to wire the spoiler on the that I'm installing. So first, got to take all that off, figure out the wiring, and so that we got to take this off in order to be able to drill. Final step before starting on the wiring of it. Remove all the masking tape. And there she is. The wing is attached, and now it's time to do the wiring for the third brake light that's integrated into the spoiler. So to install the wiring for the third brake light on the spoiler, we're gonna have to use an old wiring harness, and then we're also going to see how the wire runs to the third brake light down up through there as well, and possibly run it down here, zip tie the wire down alongside like this, and hopefully make it run in. So now we're cutting that section to get some bare wire where the third brake light is. Also, we ran through that right there, but the only way to run it through is you need a special like metal wire to help you run it through that rubber gasket, because if you don't, you're gonna have quite a bit of trouble. So did all that, put zip ties on top like I said before, and definitely did all that right there. And now just installing it over here. So as you can see, we are cutting. We're just stripping the protection off the two wires just like that, and then we're gonna tie the wires together, and it should in theory work. I got them connected like that. Next is to just tie them down together and clip it on, and both brake lights should be working. Assembling everything back together. That's how the wiring is from inside already. All we gotta do left is, since the bolts here, water can get through. I'm gonna show you why. There's like a little gap in between there, so water can get through. So we're gonna put some caulking in there so that water does not get through and get everything wet here. Gotta cut the zip ties off yet, put everything back together, and then we have our spoiler fully installed. This is how the spoiler looks like in the daytime. Looks pretty dope if you ask me. And now I have a double spoiler. Double spoiler, lots of downforce, folks. Call me Ricer if you want. I just like the looks, but lots of downforce for sure now. Looks really clean, waterproof, professionally installed pretty much. Not gonna go anywhere, it's really sturdy. Final test is, I already drove it, but I'll show you that it's not gonna rip off at normal operation speeds. It's gonna stay put wherever it's set at. Well, now I'm on the ground replacing my cracked lip, which is right here. And it's actually pretty easy. Let me show you. I don't need to lift the car just to replace the middle piece. There is gonna be a few like screws you have to use, like right here. Like Phillips, like right here you gotta put. And then this underbody is in the way, so it just uses a 10mm to get off. In order to get to these tie downs over here, there is a tie down right over, where did it go? Right over here. And in order to get to it, because there is another like washer or something or nut holding it in the back, I have to take this underbody off, which, to tell you the truth, is Not hard at all. I just got to take off two, one on this side and one on that side, because the middle is zip tied because I ran out of bolts. But once you take them off, you have easy access to remove your front lip. And I'm only replacing the middle piece, not these side ones. The side ones, the side of the lips are perfectly fine. And because it's cracked, it's sagging a little. I just want a clean look. And everyone thinks my bumper is bent in a bad way. It actually isn't. It's bent exactly in the middle how it comes from the factory. So there's nothing to worry about my bumper at all. Okay, so my new lip did not come with holes up here where I have to drill them. See how that's how I fixed up the new lip, the old lip. But the new lip, I use a screw to drill out holes in order to put in my bolts, because they absolutely do not come with bolts. Try to line up the best way I can, and we'll see how it's gonna work out right now. So these bolts were kind of big. I had to force them in there through the holes I made, but it made it work. Now it's time to reinstall it back on the Q50. So finished it, but with blood, sweat, and tears. So got the lip installed back on. It ain't gonna go anywhere. It's perfect. It's gotta drive carefully now around dips and everything and fix that. So it looks the same. I can't tell a difference really if any side is higher or lower. I don't know about you, but it looks pretty much the same. I don't think the minor details of it being tiny bit higher is gonna make a difference, but it looks pretty even. But basically what essentially happened is I think I hit something else and I cracked the lip over here. As you can see, that's cracked, okay? And underneath of here, as you can see, it's cracked. So basically there was this bolt right here that I used that would go down in there. It would not hook on. It would not want to bolt back on. So ended up using two zip ties. So you can see one right there and one down there. Then I ended up screwing one little black screw that it comes with the kit right over there. I doubt it's gonna go anywhere. I'm pulling on it and it's doing nothing. If anything, I'm gonna have some extra screws. But that right there right now is keeping it in check. It's not moving anywhere because the zip ties are helping. It's pretty much the same as this side over here doing the same thing and moving back and forth. So we should be good. No need to worry about that. Now all she needs is a clean, a nice wash. Took her to a wash, washed her up. It's pollen season in South Carolina for us, so basically just saying that we just do basic washes for the next couple of months because there's pollen season. But the lip held up, finished up with a good day. Time to rip down the roads and have some fun in my Q50. Not canceled. Guys, I'm Eddie B. 2064 turn right. This particular package, driving a temp in the 6 Series.